Okay, bro. The man deleted the VOD. There was no VOD. I really just wanted to run through the VOD and just like read off everything, because there was some shit in there that he straight up just lied about. Like, it was just straight up lies. Right? Like, I made a little notepad. Let me start off with the housing situation first, okay? Nadeshot claims that we chose our house. We could have picked a different house in a different area. Dude, why do I still have ads on? Or why do I still have alerts on? We could not just move into any house we want. We literally, we had to be within 10 to 15 minutes of Nadeshot's house. Now keep in mind, Nadeshot's house is in the center of Los Angeles, right? One of the most expensive cities in the world, in one of the most expensive neighborhoods in the most expensive city in the world. The man's house is valued at over $10 million, bro. How are we supposed to find a house that's within 10 to 15 minutes of that, that's less than 10 grand? Okay, you guys saw the house we were living in. You all saw the house we were living in. It wasn't a fucking mansion, bro. It was a 3-bedroom house, right? Like, Avalanche, his room, you could barely fit a fucking bed in it. Like, we're out here balling out and shit and buying the most expensive house we could just because we wanted to. No, we had to spend that much in rent. Everything else is just like, we literally could not find a house. That was our biggest problem with moving to LA. Yeah. My god. Mayweather, I don't know how to do that, bro. I'm gonna be honest, I do not care. What do you call it? So I don't know why he's sitting there saying, oh, we could have gotten a house for 3-4 grand. We looked for houses for 2 whole months before we found the one that we finally did. And it wasn't even us that found it, it was Jackson. Jackson was that found it. It was the most reasonable house, like, that fit all of us, had enough space and everything. And it was 10K a month. Literally our entire salary. But yeah, I don't know. That's beside the points. I don't know why he said that. That shit kind of pissed me off. Oh! But the biggest thing, bro, the biggest thing is the lack of work ethic, right? Like, oh yeah, like, sure, we weren't paying you anything, but if you grinded it out, like, if you did all this shit, like, you would have made enough. You would have made enough money to, you know, do whatever you want with. Brother, I need you to remember that we were a group, okay? So yeah, I stream 40 hours a month on my channel. We also gotta remember the streams that I did with Ava on his channel, or with Mako on his channel, or with Classify on his channel. Okay, so yeah, like, you can pull up the statistics all you want, but that's not the full picture. And you know that. You know that damn well. Like, me and Ava, we would play those scary games. It would be like 8-10 hour streams. Those don't count towards my time. So sure. And I've already taken responsibility for that. Like, yeah, I definitely could have grinded a whole lot harder. But the conditions that we were in, bro, it's not a place that makes you want to grind. There are houses in that area right now for 4 to 5K a month. Brother, I will pull up Zillow right now. Okay, right now. No, actually, I'm not going to do that. But, like, I promise you, if there was a house that was livable, that was within the 4 to 5K range, we would have copped that shit up instantly. Like, do you guys think we wanted to pay 10K a month for rent? Our entire, like, salary goes to rent? Is that really what you want, like, what you think we wanted to do? Like, you all saw the house, bro. You saw the house. It was a very mediocre house. The meal thing seems sus because you always ordered DoorDash. I mean, yeah, bro, like, it's not like I couldn't afford to eat every single day, but, like, there was definitely periods while I was living there where I had negative dollars in my bank account, and I'm not the only one. Mako, Ava, and Classy too. And, like, you literally just cannot afford to buy food. Like, the amount of times I have to ask my parents to send me money to help pay for food and shit is ridiculous. Because, like, yeah, we're getting the salary to pay for the house, but you also gotta remember, we also have bills and shit, right? And in LA, it's not cheap. That's their problem. That's your problem, not theirs. That's fair. That's fair. But when you take a content creator group, when you take a bunch of 20-year-olds and force them to move out to LA in one of the most expensive cities in the world, I feel like it's your job as an organization to make sure that financially they'll be okay. And we weren't. They just did not do that. Force them? Yes, we had to move to LA to make the whole thing work. We had to move in that neighborhood to make it work. Like, that was literally in our contract. If we could have been 100 Thieves and stayed at home, of course we would have done that. You were forced, you agreed to sign the contract. Okay, bro, like, if that's the route we're going on, then, like, sure, you're right. Whatever, man. Oh, let me see. Where was that? As for the sponsorship, here's what happened. Here's what happened with that, like, sponsorship thing that I tweeted out. I tweeted out 95%. When we were first in talks with 100 Thieves, the original contract was that they take 95% of the sponsored deals that they bring us, right? And that's like 95% total, not individual, so it's not like I'd be getting 5%. We'd literally be splitting that 5%, right? And then, right when we were in those negotiations, that whole Tifu thing came out. Yeah, keep it in mode only, please. Right when that whole Tifu thing came out, that's when we were in talks in negotiation with 100 Thieves. And we went up to them, we're like, hey, like, Faye's getting a lot of shit for this, and, like, ours is even worse. So, they managed to talk it down to 85%, I believe. I believe that's what it was. From 95% to 85%. But it's, like, still. Alright, bro. I'm just gonna go back to my original tweets that Nadeshot said I was lying about, and I was being untruthful, and just go through every single one of them, okay? And, like, you guys tell me which parts I lied about, alright? I rent $2,500 a month. $2,500 a month. Our rent. After taxes, our paycheck came out to around $1,650. Alright? So, like, I know taxes are our responsibility and shit, bro. But at the end of the day, that's still a grand coming out of our pocket to live in a house that we did not even want to live in the first place. Okay, so I don't know where the lie is there. I don't know where the lie is there. For this, I wanted to talk about the content budget. He said our content budget was $12,500. It was not $12,500. It was $2,500. And he also said that I went up to him and told him that, oh, we're not getting approved for a lot of stuff we want to buy, like we're blah blah blah, like they're saying no to the things we want to buy. And he said that's cap. It's literally not cap. It is literally not cap. There's so many times where I'll go to Jackson or Ibrahim, tell them, hey, we need this for a YouTube video, and they just tell us, yeah, unfortunately, we can't use the content budget for that. So, yeah. And another thing with the content budget, it's not like it was a credit card that we got that we could just swipe whenever we wanted to buy shit for YouTube videos. We had to spend our own money to buy the thing, and then put in a commission, like a reimbursement form. Put in a reimbursement form to get paid back for that money, and that could take up to like 2 to 4 weeks. I could not afford to spend $500 on a YouTube video, say, and then wait 3 to 4 weeks to get that money back. I literally could not afford that. So, like, again, I don't know where I'm lying. I don't see which parts I'm lying about. This, again, we just went over this as well. And the fact that Nadeshot is, like, sitting there, like, saying, like, oh, it wasn't 95%, it was 85%. Like, that is any better. Like, that's an improvement. Like, you guys remember all the shit that FaZe got for this. Like, how is this not the same, if not even worse? And they'll claim, oh, this is the part that pissed me off. This is the part that pissed me off. Nadeshot claimed that they brought us, like, 3 really big deals, right? He's talking about the Fireball one, where we got paid 30 grand each. It was a $120,000 deal in total. And we got paid 30K each, right? 100 Thieves did not bring that deal to us. I took that deal to 100 Thieves. The Fireball deal. I was friends with the guy who ran the company that brought them the deal, or that brought me the deal. He messaged me. He's like, yo, I got a deal with Fireball that they want to work with you guys, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, sure, that'd be great. But the problem is they wanted some statistics that we weren't able to provide them. So I went up to 100 Thieves. I said, hey, we got a deal working with them. They want to talk to you guys about working with us. Like, can you work it out and provide them the statistics that we don't have? Okay, so for him to say that, like, they're the ones that, like, brokered that deal and did all this for us, like, that's cap. That is straight up cap. I was the one that brought us that deal. And to be fair, on their side, they didn't take any money off that deal. As far as I'm aware, they did not take any money off that deal. As far as I'm aware. I'm not sure how much 100 Thieves got paid, but, like, I know how much we got paid, and it seemed fair. So yeah. The other deal, the Elgato deal, again, that was us. We had that deal before 100 Thieves. We were sponsored by Elgato before we joined the 100 Thieves. Ah. Like, I don't know what to say, dude. I don't. I wanted to wait till, like, later tonight or tomorrow to talk about all this shit. What happened with G Fuel? Okay, so, here's what happened with G Fuel. If you were around back in the day, you know that G Fuel was one of our main sponsors, right? They supported us when, like, Code Mob became, like, such a huge meme, right? Like, if you were around back then, you heard of Code Mob. Everyone knew about it. Like, fucking, like, Mia Malkova painted it on her ass and, like, posted a tweet, and that shit was super viral. Like, everyone knows what Code Mob is, right? G Fuel was our biggest sponsor. That was our biggest source of income at the time. Okay, that was our biggest source of income at the time, was G Fuel. When we joined the 100 Thieves, they were sponsored by Red Bull, so we understood that we were no longer gonna be, you know, sponsored by G Fuel, and we were fine with that, right? But then, I believe like 6 months to a year later, the Red Bull deal ends, and in our contract, we're allowed to get personal sponsors as long as they're not competing with another 100 Thieves sponsor. So when that Red Bull deal ended, we went up to G Fuel, and we were in talks of another sponsorship, right? I think it was gonna be around 15K a month for a year, plus like commission from like sales and stuff from our code, plus we were like getting cups and our own flavor and shit. Like, the deal easily itself would have been worth over $500,000. But 100 Thieves goes and tells us, you guys can't take that deal because we have a sponsorship. Like, we're in the midst of working with another like energy drink sponsor. I forgot who it was, like some big brand, I don't know. So, like, we were very disappointed, right, of course, because that was a lot of money that we desperately needed at the time. But we understood, right? Like, we signed the contracts, like, we understood, that was part of the deal that we made. But then 6 months goes by, and there's still nothing about that deal. Like, they still haven't done anything with that deal. And then a year goes by, and they still don't have another sponsor. So, that entire year that went by, we could have easily done that sponsorship. It was a 1 year long deal, and we could have, like, we just couldn't take it for no reason. No reason at all. So yeah, that pissed me off, because like G Fuel, I know they've been in a lot of controversy lately, but like G Fuel always treated me personally like family, and they were always very good to us. They always took care of us and made sure we had everything we needed. So yeah, give me a second, I'm gonna get some water. I don't know, dude, just like this whole situation and everything. Thanks, man. Like, just the whole situation is fucked. You know, it's like, if I'm Nadeshot, I don't know, and like, this wasn't like some secret that we, like, that nobody knew about that we were broke. No, like we were mentioning that shit all the time, to Nadeshot, to people at the company, to everyone. Right, like, on Twitter, on streams, everything. Like, we played it off as a joke, but like, everyone knew it wasn't a joke. And like, if I'm Nadeshot, I would personally be completely fucking embarrassed to have one of the biggest organizations that's valued at almost $500 million, and then 4 of my content creators are broke as fuck. But that's just me, though. That is just me.
Smile.
I really don't know where to go for this, bro. Like, Nate said, like, oh, the reason they're broke is because they just didn't work hard, like, pulling up my stats and shit, but, like, dude, we were in each other's streams all the time. I was on Ava's stream, I was on Mako's, Classy's, everyone's stream. Like, we weren't just focused on our personal channels. Like, you gotta understand, you signed a group, okay? You signed a group, we worked together, we made content together. So if you're just gonna look at individual stats, okay, yeah, mob channel streams as well, so like, okay. Like, we could have very easily just focused on our own shit, streamed 100 hours a month or whatever, and made enough money, but that's not who we were, that's not how we were, that's not what our content consisted of. Like, my best streams, all of our best streams are when we were in each other's streams together. When me and Ava played those scary games, and we did Pistachio Talk. When me, Mako, and Ava would do FIFA streams on his stream. Like, and that's on top of, like, recording videos for 100 Thieves and for the mob channel and shit. I don't know, bro, like, like, I've seen people tweet out, like, oh, why did you take this deal, like, if it's so dog shit? Because, like, bro, it's fucking Nadeshot, man. Like, it's a guy that we've all looked up to for literal decades, right? And he's offering us the opportunity to work with him. We thought he was going to be, like, a mentor to us. We thought he was going to take care of us, and we wouldn't have to worry about anything. And then we get to LA, and it was nothing like that. Like, the dude didn't even come to our house until, like, 4 or 5 months in. No, like, 5, 6 months in after we moved to LA to film the house tour video. But alright. As a whole, you guys are making so much content. Nade was only pointing out you specifically, which is unfair because all you collectively putting in so much effort to do shit. I'm tired of seeing people call you lazy and shit. Like, people are gonna think what they want, man. Like, people are gonna, you know, choose whatever side they want. Oh, is this the VOD? Wait, someone has the VOD. Hold up. Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. This is what I was looking for. Who paid for the car? Most of the time when you guys drove, it was literally to go to the compound and film content. We paid for that ourselves. Ava's dad got us a really good deal on a car, so yeah. Alright, let's just react to this, bro. This is what I want to do in the first place. I didn't want to just sit here and ramble.
I still stan you.
Thank you. Thank you guys for whoever is resubbing. I'm not looking at any of that shit, but still, thank you. It doesn't talk for like 15 minutes.
We're gonna start from. Man, I All right, listen. I'm not, man. I'm not doing this for show. I'm not doing this for any other reason than the fact that we get. Hold on, man. I'm.
When does he actually start, bro?
All right, I tried to record this. I tried to record a video. I got 30 minutes into one good take, but I figured doing a stream would probably be the best course of action.
Been here since the start of 100T. Glad to see.
When I was younger,
back.
I would get involved, you know, banter on Twitter.
Yeah, I can turn it up.
Have a lot of fun on the internet. I'm 30 fucking years old. I've been on the internet since I was like 13. Hopefully you guys have seen in the last 5 years since 100 Thieves started, I don't get involved in drama. Regardless if I think I have something that people should know, I don't get involved with it because I got a bride-to-be in that house. I got 2 dogs. I got a great group of friends. I don't need drama to have fulfillment in my life.
Yeah, bro, like, it's easy to avoid drama when, like, people are calling you out and all the drama. Like, it's very easy to not get involved in it when every time you fuck up, you just say, oh, I'm not going to speak about it, or I'm not going to talk about it.
I don't need to get involved in situations that are going to bring me stress and bring me a lack of peace of mind. When you get older, you realize peace of mind is everything. And when I lay my head on my pillow at night, I want to make sure that I made the right decisions and did the best that I could. And I don't like getting involved in shit like this. I didn't even want to do this. But everybody on the internet has knee-jerk reactions and, you know, wants to listen to one side of a story. So we're going to talk about Frosty and the tweets that he sent out last night. I woke up this morning at 6 a.m. and was just getting a bunch of mentions, and then I go over to Frosty's profile, who I follow. I thought we were on good terms. I thought I was on good terms with everybody on the mob. You know, I see Classy from time to time at parties. You know, we were just hanging out not a month ago.
Okay, dude, I'm gonna be real. It's like we were never on like any really bad terms or anything, but like, the literal last thing that happened after I left 100 Thieves, I sent this man, like, a wholesome text saying, like, thanks for everything, the opportunity, blah, 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 like, whatever. The man just aired it out, right? And that's fine, because Nadeshot's known for not responding to texts. But then this motherfucker, a couple months later, he's doing his Courage and Nadeshot show, and he starts reading out his text to one of the guests that was on there. And just, like, talking shit to me. So, like, if that's what he considers good terms, I would hate to see you, like, what he thinks bad terms are.
And, I didn't realize that there was still pent-up emotion from Froste's end. So, we're gonna start from the top. For anyone that doesn't know, the mob is comprised of 4 individuals. It's Classify, it is Avalanche, Mako, and Frosty. And their time on the internet, or at least I think when they started gaining a following, was back when I was coming up, back in like 2012, 2013, when Twitch was starting to really gain some traction. My career was really starting to take off. You know, a couple hundred viewers turned into 1,000, 1,000 turned into a couple more thousand, and shit was going really well for me. And there were a bunch of kids that would be in my chat every day, cracking jokes, a really great sense of humor. And that was the 4 individuals that ended up being the mob. You know, Ava, Frosty, there's a kid named Ace Thug, Classy, Mako was in there. Those guys are my day ones. You know, they were there with no incentive, no other reason except for the fact that they enjoyed watching my stream. And so, you know, when you see a kid with a good sense of humor, you want to follow them. So I modded those guys on my channel. I started following them on Twitter. And over the years, we had a great relationship, a great rapport. And that never changed, and I didn't think that had changed. And so as the years go on, after, you know, we start building a relationship, my career obviously shifts a lot, right? You know, I'm a part of Optic, I'm competing, I retire, I moved to LA, and just a whole lot of changes. So then we get to, you know, 4.5 years ago, and I started up 100 Thieves. Now, listen, I know you guys are going to want to hear about Nick Merckx. I don't think I'll ever address that. Everybody has formed an opinion, and I respect Nick and his perspective, and I know for a fact people will be dying to hear about it, but it's neither here or there, and quite frankly, it's just not something that I want to talk about. But we have to talk about the mob, because I was really close with these guys. All right, you know, here's the thing. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done this live, because I really wanted to do this in the right order. So 100 Thieves starts, right? We're up against teams that have been around for a decade. We're up against teams that have been around for a decade. I mean, I was on Optic for 7, 8, 9, 10 years, whatever. I forget the exact dates. You know, you got FaZe Clan, and then you got the old guard of League of Legends teams, TSM, Team Liquid, CLG. There's a lot of history there. So with 100 Thieves...
Can I just say this? Okay, I just wanted to be clear that a lot of the things that I felt I was wronged by in 100 Thieves weren't directly caused by Nadeshot, right? Like, they weren't, like, Matt's doing. It's just the problem is that I'm not sure how fully involved he is in the company, and I'm not sure he was aware of, like, everything that was going on. So with all my tweets, like, they're not exactly directed at him, but, like, he's still the CEO, so responsibility still lays on him.
Specifically, we want to get our foot in the door as quickly as we could. And obviously, I had a pretty good following myself, and the entire thesis behind it was, you know, hopefully
exactly,
some of the boys that supported me throughout the years want to stick around and see what's going on with, you know, this new endeavor, this new venture. And, you know, we felt like the best way to support that and get the, you know, the brand and the recognition to as many people as we could is not only are we going to compete in esports, but we're going to create a bunch of content to support the team and to hopefully drive a lot of excitement on, you know, every corner of the internet.
Damn, bro, does he, like, get the
really
juicy
approach
shit?
gaming as broadly as we can, so that when you come to see 100 Thieves, or you go to our YouTube channel, or you're on Instagram, or you're on Twitch, There is something for everybody. You don't like competitive? Fine. We got creators for that. You know, you don't like the YouTube videos that we make, and you're a diehard esports fan, we got players on stage. So
Thanks,
we want to do as much as we could, as quickly as we could. And so we brought on a lot of creators throughout the last few years of 100 Thieves. And with the mob specifically, these were 4 guys that really found their own niche where they came up on the internet very differently from a lot of people. These guys were just shit posting on Twitter, making memes, cracking jokes, and they were a part of the conversation in a lot of different Twitch chats. And like I said, these guys were with me from day one, and I really did. I was a huge fan of theirs. And so as the years went on and 100 Thieves started to form and we were bringing on more creators, you know, I was really driving the conversation internally with the rest of our staff here at 100 Thieves that we should bring on the mob. Like, let's get them out to LA. Let's start making videos with these guys. Let's give them an opportunity that they wouldn't have originally, because I felt like with their sense of humor and their ability to understand the internet and understand like the Call of Duty community, I felt like that could expand, you know, as we had hoped for 100 Thieves, and very quickly. I thought people would really get behind them. I did. And so, you know, we started talking about...
See, bro, this is like my biggest issue here, like, while I was on the org, right? Like, he's saying all this stuff, and I know he truly believes it, but then when we joined the org, we just, like, we weren't allowed to show that side of us. Like, in 100 Thieves videos and shit, like, we were not allowed to, like, the things that make us great, like, we weren't allowed to be that in those videos. So, like, why would anyone that's 100 Thieves saying that's watching the videos want to watch us? Like, if we're not even being ourselves, if we're not being as funny as we can be, like, I don't know, bro.
What a relationship.
Like, it was destined to fail from the start.
And, you know, they had told us that they were trying to get into a house and they were trying to just take everything to the next level. And so it really felt like a perfect storm. Okay, we've got a platform here. We've got a bunch of creators with very different demographics. We've got a great opportunity for them to be exposed to a much bigger audience, and that, you know, we wanted to help build them up. And so as we started negotiating, you have to come to the reality that when you do something in business, it has to be fair for both parties. It has to be you know, a fair agreement. And I don't want things to be, you know, my words to be taken out of context, but the mob, you know, if you look back, and even now, if you look at their channels, they were only averaging, you know, 100, 200, a couple hundred viewers. Maybe there's some exceptions into the rule there. Maybe there's a couple thousand, you know, for big moments. I don't know. But the fact of the matter, without trying to sound as if I'm holding this against them, they weren't very big. They might have had like a very rabid, you know, Twitter fan base that really loved everything that they did. But in all actuality, when it's time to make money, in the places that you can make money, on Twitch and YouTube and sponsorships, there wasn't a lot of opportunity for them.
Like, this is the issue, bro. This is the issue. It's the fact that he knows that. Like, we were not very big on the places where you do make money, like Twitch and YouTube and Instagram. We were not big on those websites. So then why would you think it's a good idea to move us out to LA, pay us basically nothing, and think that somehow we'd manage to survive? Like, you just admitted that you knew we weren't making money. So, like, why even offer that to us in the first place? Right? Like, why not let us keep doing our thing, let us grow to a point where we can be comfortable, and then offer us a deal? It's because, you know why? It's because they saw this hot new product that was dropping, and they wanted to get their name behind it before we really blew up. They saw the potential that we had. They saw the potential that we had to blow up, and they wanted to get their name behind that. Like, that's all it was. That's literally all it was. They saw they could get us cheap for basically pennies, so they did it with no thought of what was actually going to happen, with no, like, thought into the future of how it would actually work. For sure.
So we felt like that we were doing them a good service by bringing them into 100 Thieves. And I think the history of context is super...
Bro, it's like the way I equate it, or like the way, like, good similarity to it is like when a music artist is like, they start popping off a little bit. Maybe they have a song that like blows up on TikTok or some shit, right? And then they get signed to a record label. The record label isn't signing them for pennies. They're giving them enough money to where they don't have to worry about anything financially and they can just focus on their craft. Right? Like, imagine if an artist is starting to, like, get some traction and then a label signs them for $2.5K a month for $20,000, $30,000.
Super important.
That's, I don't know, that's the way I see it.
The fact that we brought creators on to 100 Thieves, I'm not saying that we, you know, started this, or, you know, I'm sure that there were other organizations that might have been doing this, but back in the day when you would join FaZe or you joined Optic, you weren't making any money. Like, when you got onto the team, that's when you made it. And being on that team was what allowed you to have an opportunity to grow your audience even bigger and to make more money. You know, and and I wanted to explain that earlier because I don't want what I'm about to say next to be correlated with this. But back in the day when I was on Optic, I didn't make any fucking money. I didn't have a salary. Now, again, this was a long time ago. The gaming industry has matured and it has evolved, and there is much more money in this industry and much more opportunity for individuals than there ever has before. And I could not be happier. For anybody that loves gaming or was in the same shoes that I was when I was younger and was trying to do something with my life that I loved and had a passion for, I'm ecstatic that the industry has grown into what it is. It's what's allowed me to start 100 Thieves. But back in the day, we didn't even have a Twitch sub button. You know, we were sitting there with the opportunity that Hector gave us with Optic, and you got to tip the cap to Hector because he got us a house, and we didn't have to worry about anything at all.
So why couldn't you do the same thing for us? Like, I don't get it. Like, yeah, you're not making that much money, but you're also not paying a shit ton in rent and bills either. Because Hex actually took care of you guys. So why can't you do the same thing for us?
I slept on an air mattress for a year and a half.
We had lawn chairs for couches for 6 months. Like, if you want to have a struggle off, bro, like, you're not winning that one. You are not winning that.
I didn't have a salary. We were paying player buyouts for players that we wanted to bring over to our competitive team. And Hector was in a really tough position because we were sitting there trying to figure out how all these organizations were making money because we couldn't figure it out. You know, they were bringing on sponsors, but even then, sponsors, like, sometimes you would see a team 10 years ago with a sponsorship and they were just giving product.
And keep in mind, dude, this guy was also coming off winning $100,000 at COD XP when all that shit was happening. So it's not like the man had no money in his bank account.
So Hector,
when we first started talking with 100 Thieves about, like, joining, we all started saving up as much money as we could, right? It was like 3-4 months. I think I had saved up like 15K or something like that. And all that money was just instantly gone just moving to LA. Like, all of it.
You know, for as ahead of his time as he was, he got us into a house. We didn't have to pay rent, but we weren't making any money.
Like, moving is expensive as fuck.
Eat what you kill mentality. You know, he was just fanning the flame, fostering an environment for us to have an opportunity to do what we love. And we knew that. And so that's why we're up every single day in the master bedroom of the content house, stacked 5 heads deep on fold-out tables and chairs, streaming 12 hours a day. You finish your stream, you get off, you upload a YouTube video, you go to sleep, you wake up, you do it again. Every fucking day. Every day.
Bro, like, let's also remember this man was getting like 20,000 viewers at the time on Twitch. Okay, like, I don't know why he's trying to come off like this, like, small guy who, you know, like, started from the bottom, now he's here. Like, yeah, he did start at the bottom, but not in this time period that he's describing. This man was the face of Call of Duty. He was the face of Twitch. He was the ninja of Twitch back in the day. Alright, I just want you guys to remember that.
Because I wasn't going back to fucking McDonald's, and I wasn't going back to community college. And I'm not trying to pander and sound like a martyr or pat myself on the back. I promise you that's not why I bring this up. I just want you to know that I was in the same shoes as the mob.
Right.
And that's why I was the one that was pushing our company to get these players out to LA, sign them, and give them the opportunity that I had when I was younger. Because they've been in gaming just as long, not as long, but they've been a part of the same community that I've been a part of for a very long time. And I've always had a lot of love for them, and I think they're hilarious. I sound like a broken record. I've already said that. So let's move back to current day. We start negotiating with the mob. They are, like I told you before, you know, Twitter shitposting meme lords. Like, these guys understand.
Hey, so did you ever get paid from MLG?
Understand the internet. And they had streamed, and they were streaming from time to time. But, again, they only averaged, you know, like 100, 200, 300,000 or 300 viewers, right? So we let them know, like, listen, we want to give you an opportunity. We want to get you out to LA. But the onus is going to be on you to show us that you have a level of maturity and can rise to the occasion of, you know, the company and the infrastructure that we already have. So we're going to pay everybody $2,500 a month. You have to live in LA. You have to be here. We will help you find a home, but ultimately, this is your responsibility. And so we had multiple people on staff helping them, you know, browse websites, find the right places, build out a spreadsheet. Look,
Jackson and Ibrahim were helping us a lot with trying to find a house. It was like a 2-month-long thing.
For, you know, the right fit, because we needed to make sure that they knew that they have a responsibility just like every other employee that we have at the company. You know, you got to, it's time to grow up. It's time to be mature. It's time to have a responsibility if we're going to give you this opportunity. Now, if that didn't sit well with them and that didn't feel right to them, I wish they would have told us that this doesn't make sense or we can't financially make this work. But that was...
Dude, at the time, getting paid $2,500, we thought that was huge, right? Like, that was more than I was making, like, on Twitch and everything. Like, we had no idea how expensive LA was. We had no idea how expensive the rent was. So for us, that was like we couldn't believe they were giving us that.
That was never the case. That never happened. And
also, it's like he said, bro. We did not have any leverage in this like negotiation. Like, they're 100 thieves. Who the fuck are we? Like, we were scared that if we went up to them and said, like, hey, could we have, like, an extra 500 a month each or something? Like, we were scared they would just pull the whole deal out. So it's like, if you're trying to make us look like the bad guys for not negotiating, you gotta understand, like, the power dynamics there. And I know damn well he does.
And they were going and looking at homes. They were the ones that chose a $10,000 rent home. Now, one of the things that I saw Frosty say, and I should pull up these tweets. I should pull up these tweets so that you can see it. But one of the things that Frosty said was that we had to live in a $10,000 home, and we had to live in West LA. We had to be 15 minutes away from Nadeshot's house in the compound. We couldn't go anywhere else. Listen, I've been living on the west side of LA for 8 years now, and I promise you that there is a number of options for living here that are more financially suitable for what their situation was. Okay? And they decided that they wanted to live.
Zillow listings. All of LA. 4 bedrooms. Like, the options in question, bro. 2,000 square feet. Like, 8K. This is an apartment. These are apartments for $6,000 almost. Like, bro, this is the point that pissed me off the most. Like, Why would we blow our entire salary on a house if we could have a cheaper option? Like, this man is just, like, making it out to seem like we had all the options in the world and went with the most expensive one. Brother, it is Los Angeles. Okay? Okay? Matt, you live... Oh, let me run this back.
Living on the west side of LA. We couldn't go anywhere else. Listen, I've been living on the west side of LA for 8 years now. And I promise you that there is a number of options for living here.
This dude lives in a $10 million house, bro. Their rent is like 40 grand a month. 30, 40 grand a month. And we had to live within like 10 to 15 minutes of that neighborhood. And you're telling me that we could have found some house for 3 grand a month. Like, how out of touch can you be, bro?
That are more financially suitable for what their situation was. Okay? And they decided that they wanted to live in this specific home. Even in the contract, I have all these emails. I have all the terms. I have everything that you guys would want to see. I'm not pulling this out of my ass. But they decided to live in this $10,000 a home. A $10,000 a month home. Great. Right? So the problems start to arise when they finally get to LA. Let me pull up these tweets. I gotta just do this in the right order. I really do. I don't want anything. This is why I should have went with the video, but I don't care. All right. Let's see these tweets. $2,500 each in rent a month, while we're only getting paid $1,650. That's after taxes. There was many days where we had to skip meals because we couldn't afford to buy food unless we begged our parents to send us money. It's truly a wonder why Mako wanted to leave the mob and move in back with his family. So, listen, Mako went through a really tough time in his life. From my understanding, there was many reasons why he wanted to go home. It was never brought to my attention that he wanted to leave because he felt like he was living in an intolerable living environment.
Matt, Matt, I know you're watching right now, bro. What the fuck do you know about Mako's situation? What did you know about any of our situations?
Oh my god.
You never not once asked us about any of our situations, bro. You have no idea why Mako left. I talk to Mako every day. Okay, I'm in Discord with Mako every day for like 10 hours a day. I know his situation. You don't know shit about it. Okay? So don't try to act like you know better than me, because you do not. You do not.
I have never heard that once in my life, and that is the God's honest truth.
Yeah, no shit you haven't heard it, because you never asked, you never bothered to care about it, so of course you're not going to hear about it.
Okay? So, $2,500 a month for each individual. They have to pay rent. They have to find the home. We help them find the home. They choose the $10,000 a month house. Okay? We also had a $2,500 a month budget for them to use. $400 a month budget for. We help them find the home. They choose the $10,000 a month house. Okay? We also had a $2,500 a month budget for them to use for content.
Yep.
To the best of my knowledge, they used that 1 month at one point to buy all the microphones and equipment for the Mobcast.
That's true.
Okay? So that budget was tapped into. They knew that budget existed. I think I saw Froste at one point say all the ideas that they had were never approved. I've never heard that before. Could I be wrong? Yes.
You are
wrong. Do I believe I'm wrong? No. And
like, why are you just pulling that out of your ass? You are wrong. Why would I lie about that? You are wrong on this.
bring it up if I thought I was walking myself into a trap here saying something I shouldn't. So we have 12,500.
Bro, the way that content budget worked, right? It was 25,000 or 2,500 a month. Okay, that we could only use for content stuff, right? One, we had to text someone that worked at 100 Thieves, our handler at 100 Thieves, whether we could buy this item or not, whether it could be approved. And they would either tell us yes or no. Sometimes yes, sometimes it was no, right? And then we had to go out and buy this ourselves with our own money, and then we put it in like this app where they reimburse us, and then 2 to 4 weeks later we get reimbursed. Okay, that month, the tweet where I said I was skipping meals, that was when we bought all the Mobcast equipment, because we bought like really nice expensive mics that we had to pay for out of pocket. I used every single penny that I had to buy those mics. And then I had to go 2 to 3 weeks before I got compensated for those mics. And we tried to tell them about that. We tried to talk to them about that. Like, can we figure something else out? Can we do something else? But it was no.
$100 a month for these guys. Okay? Then we get to the point where Frosty brings up that we took 95% of their sponsorship deals that we brought to the mob. That is unequivocally, undeniably, without a shadow of a doubt, untrue. It is absolutely untrue. There is no basis for Frosty to say this. At one point, I have an email that the key terms of these deals that we bring to the mob, we would retain 85% of revenue.
Dude. Like, okay, I misspoke on that 95%. That's what it was originally supposed to be, but we talked him down to 85%. But, like, the way he says that, like it's any better, like, that is insane. That is insane. A whole ass 15. Bro, like, we were getting 3.3% each from from those deals, because 15% in total as a group, right? So we had to split that 15% amongst ourselves.
We did 3 deals for them,
and you know what another problem is? You know what another problem is with that? Because, like, hold up. Another problem with that is that, you know what, fine, like, we were okay with taking that at the time, because, like, whatever, they're giving us the opportunity, we can forego some sponsorship deals, right? Like, we can always get our own sponsors. The problem with getting our own sponsors is that while we were in 100 Thieves, we were not allowed to have any agents or managers. Which, I don't know, like, how the laws work with all that stuff, but there's definitely some funky shit going on there. Because when we were in talks with the agent to assign to an agency, okay, we got put into the big business board meeting room, and John Robinson had a talk with us, and it wasn't like direct, you're not allowed to have agents, like blah blah blah, but it was very like subtle and manipulative, right? It was, you know, oh, listen guys, like, our relationship with you guys are so good, and, you know, like, if you guys signed to an agency, we'd have to go through them, and it would just, like, it would really strain and damage our relationship with you guys. Basically implying that, like, if we sign this agency, we're not getting re-signed. So, yeah.
And all 2 out of the 3 deals, they took home 65% of the revenue from that deal. Okay? 65% of the revenue from that deal. One of those deals, they made $30,000 each.
Again, he's talking about the Fireball deal. A deal that the CEO of the company who brokered that deal is a friend of mine and came to me and talked to me about it, and then I told 100 Thieves about it. Just want to clarify that.
It was a $200,000 deal. They walked away with $120,000, I believe it was. Okay? They walked away with $120,000, I believe it was. Okay? And What you don't understand is that we have to employ a partnership.
Wow. See, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if we got the full money from that, or if they kept any, but like, he just confirmed they kept it. They kept 80 grand because it was a $200,000 deal apparently. That's mad interesting. That's crazy interesting. Because like, I want you guys to be clear. 100 Thieves did not do anything regarding that deal, okay? They just dotted the I's and crossed the T's.
Team that needs to go out and source these deals. Then you have account management that handles, once that deal is sold, account management coordinates with everybody else within the company.
Wait, what? Tiump, I have a friend. They took that much and you brought the sponsor? Yes. Yes. Yes.
Whether it's marketing, whether it's content, whether it's a deal that is done with talent.
I wasn't sure if they actually kept any of the money or if they gave it all to us, but I'm glad he confirmed it.
We have to incur labor expenses to make these things a reality. Okay? And with that very large deal that I had just laid out for you guys, we had to have a talent manager over at the house, and we had to go back to the actual agency that brokered this deal with our partnership team and try to make good because they weren't delivering on the things that they had.
Cap. Okay? That Fireball deal, we fucking killed that shit. Listen.
Had to go back to the actual agency that brokered this deal with.
That agency is the one that my friend's a CEO of. I'm not gonna name his name because I don't want to throw him under the bus or anything. But he told me that Fireball fucking loved us. That we were their favorite creators that they've worked with. He told me that. You guys remember the Fireball Friday streams, bro? We fucking killed that shit. Okay? So he's like just straight up lying right now.
With our partnership team and try to make good because they weren't delivering on the things that they had agreed to for this contract. Another deal we did, they walked away with $12,000 each. Another deal we did, they walked away with another $12,000.
$12,000 each, by the way. That's over the course of 1 year. Right? Not like... He's talking about the Elgato deal and trying to make it seem like it was bigger than it was. That was over the course of a year. Okay? Like, it's still good money, don't get me wrong. But, like, when he puts it like that, you know...
$1,000 each. And again, 2 out of these 3...
And again, that's another deal that we had going into 100 Thieves. We had that deal before we joined 100 Thieves.
They walked away
that wasn't
with 60
them.
or 65% of what we actually brought home. So we didn't even get to recognize, you know, that much profit off of these things.
You profited 80 grand for doing basically nothing. But sure, man, you made no profit off us.
I really didn't want to talk. I have a lot more to say. I just want to, I have a lot more to say, and I want that to be clear. But what I said in the video that I filmed before I started this stream is that I never wanted to address this. I don't want to talk about this because I have always respected the individuals that have been a part of the mob. I've always had a lot of love for these guys, even when there were tweets from Froste a couple months ago. You know, you shake it off, keep it moving. He's a young kid, whatever. Frosty, Mako, and Classy haven't said anything on social, so I hate the fact that they're even getting brought into this. But if you're going to come to the table with all these facts, I need to make sure that you all understand that we weren't taking advantage of these individuals. Okay? This 95% is not true. All right?
My bad, 85%.
So let's go back. I want to talk
after
about
renegotiations.
some more of these things. And I'm sorry if this is all sort of all over the place. Like I told you, I think the video would have been better. And maybe I'm a little rusty, but at least I know I'm getting the truth out. So we talked a little bit about the money, but now let's talk about the opportunity with the mob, right? So the entire idea, the entire thesis that we bring these guys over to, I forgot to mention, we bumped their salaries up to $3 grand the next year, the second year that we renewed their contract.
Our rent also went up
too. The entire thesis was we bring the mob around other creators, we bring them around 100 Thieves, we give them a platform to be themselves and hopefully grow and have an opportunity to be full-time gaming creators, because that's what we thought that their goal was. So we sign them, we make the announcement, they get to LA, and this is the tough part, because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, okay? But back in the day, I talked about Optic, I talked about FaZe.
Hold up, I'm gonna get another bottle of water. I'll be back.
I've seen this happen so many times since I started on YouTube. A lot of times people will join a team like FaZe, or they'll join a team like Optic, and they'll have
Disarol. That's what the person who ran the campaign said on Twitter at Kitty House Knife. She said Nade's account of the events were true.
What the fuck is Disarol? Is that like a D's Nuts joke? Or Dice Roll? I feel like it's I've never heard of that. I feel like it's like a D's Nuts joke.
The realization that I made it. I made all the videos I needed to make to finally join this team. They've accepted me. I'm a part of it. And then they take their foot off the gas pedal. Okay? It has happened with, more creators that I can even think about right now. I can barely hold a thought in my fucking head. So I'm not making any assumptions of what happened with the mob after we signed them and brought them over, okay? And I don't want to bring the other individuals that are a part of the mob into this, but the proof is in the pudding. Guys, I had thought that we were giving them a big opportunity, okay? From individuals that were averaging just a couple hundred viewers, if not lower some days, having them be a part of a tier 1 organization like 100 Thieves, I thought, on top of the fact that we brought them out to LA and we moved 4 best friends into a home together, I thought that this could only be productive. This could only be, the perfect situation and scenario for all of these guys. They didn't work. They didn't make videos. They didn't stream. They got here, and we'll never know.
Dude, the stream shit, we'll talk about that later, but the YouTube video thing, we were not fucking YouTubers, bro. We have no idea how to make YouTube videos. Like, if you've never done YouTube, and you think it's like an easy thing to do, oh, just pick up the camera and hit record, it's not. Like, making YouTube videos is not easy. We had no idea how the fuck to do that. And Nadeshot promised us that he was going to mentor us and teach us in the ways of doing that. And that just never happened. But, whatever. Like, we still put out some YouTube videos.
Why it is that it panned out the way that it did. But if you really want to go look at stats, and you really want to look at the work that was done, while we're bringing these deals in, while we're paying these salaries, and while we're supporting them as much as we can, with the employees that we have, the resources that we've created for ourselves, and the platform that we have built along with our community, that mentality that we had back in the day where you eat what you kill, they weren't uploading. And 6 months into this relationship, a lot of our staff who haven't come from the world of content and esports and the organizations that I've seen and were a part of back in the day, they were frustrated. They wanted to move away from the mob after the first year, and they were talking about it 6 months before the rest of the term.
They had a whole day to figure out an official statement. He went live at 6 p.m. and he woke up at 6 a.m. I mean, yeah, bro. Like they're sitting there with fucking PR team and every person that works there and just figuring out a way to go about this. Like if you think any other shit is him just like natural and not reading off a script, like I got a bridge to sell you.
Was even done. It was a headache for them to deal with, trying to get them to do things, trying to, you know, they would go to the content house where the mob was living. They'd get there an hour before the shoot and the place was an absolute mess, and the production team had to clean it up, and they would be there for hours and hours later.
Listen, bro, I know what he's talking about. That happened one time, and it's because we didn't know that they were coming. Like, the few times that we did film in our house, which I don't know why he's bringing this up. We never filmed any YouTube videos in our house with 100 Thieves. We either always went to the compound or always went to Matt's house. Whatever, it's not even that important.
They should have been. Because there wasn't any accountability. Nobody was uploading. Nobody was making videos. Okay? And that killed me inside. And I told everybody at home, I told everybody at 100 Thieves, I'm like, listen, you guys got to understand, these guys need time to rise to the occasion. They came up, you know, on Twitter. They came up on social media. You know, they're not natively content creators, but I think that they can do it. They definitely have the right sense of humor to do it. We just need to give them time. We need to give them, maybe we, you know, hire somebody to be head of production. Maybe that gives them a good kick in the ass or a good kick in the right direction. But we just couldn't give them any more resources after all the time that we had been spending trying to get them to see the light.
Bro, like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. My YouTube videos, when I did upload, would get, like, maybe 2,000 views. Okay? I wasn't, like, making anything off YouTube. None of us were. I think the mob channel made, like, maybe $1,000 in the, like, entire 2 years that we uploaded. Why the fuck? If we're broke as shit, why would we spend all that time and energy uploading YouTube videos? Like, we weren't making good YouTube videos, bro. And we knew that. We were self-aware of that. Our YouTube videos were ass. We knew they were never gonna blow up. So, like, why spend, like, our time and energy on something that we're not gonna see any sort of financial benefit or, like, numbers benefit from? Like, I get what he's saying, don't get me wrong, like, he's not wrong, but it's like, from our perspective,
I uploaded more videos in on my main channel in my prime than they did in 2 years on their YouTube channel with 4 people, 4 best friends. And they talk about Froste in one of these tweets. He said, imagine if we had enough money to where we didn't have to stress over where our next meal was coming from. That's absolutely not true.
What do you mean?
We didn't take any of their stream revenue. We didn't touch it.
Bro, like, the stream revenue in question, 2 grand on, like, a good month, bro. Like, I don't know how, like, and that was me. I had, like, the biggest numbers with streaming and stuff, right, when we were in the mob. I had, like, the most viewers and everything. Like, I was making the most money. Mako, for example, Mako was barely averaging 100 viewers. Like, he was not making any money from this shit.
I have done the math. I have seen what has happened. In the 2 years that the mob was part of 100 Thieves, they made over $500,000 collectively. Not a piece, but you know, if you really get down and start going through the spreadsheet.
Don't say that, Mako. My bad, bro. I hate to drag you in it, but I know, like, you know what I know. Bro, $500,000 each, or $500,000 collectively, and a quarter of that was from a deal. More than a quarter of that were from deals that we got ourselves.
Besides the rent that they were paying in the home they chose to live in, besides the home that they had to pay rent for, they were bringing home like $35,000. They were making like 66 grand a year. And for creators that only have like 100 or 200 viewers and aren't making videos and aren't streaming, I think this is more than generous. This is more than fair. Okay?
There's one search result in LA that's 1 to 3K a month.
I wanted to know if I was crazy. I had to make sure that I did this the right way before I talked to you guys. And listen, in June 2019, this is when we announced that the mob was joining 100 Thieves. This is when Froste's average viewers was the highest it's ever been. And this was our entire goal, to give them an opportunity to have more people watching them. Froste claims that the internet wasn't working at the house for the first 4 months.
It literally wasn't.
That they joined 100 Thieves. We had a compound with 4 streaming pods. I can't figure out what the dates, if that's when...
Don't get me started on those streaming hubs at the compound, bro. Oh my god, those things are a fucking nightmare. They are an absolute nightmare. Something always goes wrong with those. If you watch anyone stream from the compound, their stream is always fucked. Something will always go wrong. Every single time. Yeah, exactly. They weren't even there for the first year, bro. And then they fucking got COVID started, so they were closed.
When COVID started, we had to close the compound. Either way, we told them that the house was their responsibility. I don't know who set up the internet. I don't know what happened with the internet. I don't know if that's true or not. But Froste believes this. But listen to me. If I have this opportunity that they had in front of them, and I'm in front of more people than I've ever had the opportunity to be in front of, I'll be fucking knocking on Spectrum's door or whatever internet provider they're using. I would be out there every single day until they came to this house and they fixed it.
Bro, what the fuck are we supposed to do about that? Like, does he think we didn't, like, try calling them, try getting it fixed? Okay, for the first year, I believe we only had one line, okay? 4 people streaming on one line, one internet line. Alright? Like, that is fucking ridiculous. If 2 of us tried streaming at the same time, if you were here, like, if you actually watched the streams, like, if you're one of the people that was actually a mob fan and watched the streams and not just someone that, like, cares about the drama, you understand the struggle we went through with internet. Fury, we didn't have 2 lines until later on. But yeah, even when we had 2 lines, our internet was still dog shit. We had Spectrum. Spectrum has a monopoly in LA. Okay? Like, if 2 of us tried streaming at the same time, we were gonna lag, we were gonna drop frames, it was gonna be a shit show.
Now,
there's a reason why, instead of just all 4 of us streaming all the time at the same time, we would go into each other's stream. Right? Like, I would stream with Ava, I would play scary games with Ava, like, Ava and Mako would stream together and shit. They play Valorant, whatever.
I don't know if they thought that this was the responsibility of 100 Thieves.
Cause someone find that tweet, someone did a screenshot of, like, me complaining about the internet. And tweeted it. I don't know where the tweet is now, though.
But if I were them, it would have never even got to the point where I'm waiting around 4 months to get it fixed.
Matt, and if I was you, and my creators were complaining about something like this, I would cough up the 5 grand and get them a fiber internet line, bro. That's what I would do. Right? Like, what the fuck is 5 grand to you? Absolutely nothing.
So,
is this... Like, look at this shit, bro. And this is just me. Like, this is just me complaining. This isn't even, like, Mako and Classy Ava. Like, this is literally just me. I don't even know why I have to explain this, because, like, if you actually watched our streams back in the day, you understand.
In the 2 years that Froste was a part of 100 Thieves. Now, again, remember, Twitch is the main source of revenue for most creators. And the bigger ones make a lot of money from sponsorships. This is true. Frosty, I did the math. In the 2 years, from start to finish, Frosty averaged 40 hours a month streaming.
On my channel.
He averaged 40 hours a month. That's 1 week of work for one of our employees who's making less money than Frosty. And right after he leaves 100 Thieves, he streamed for 377 hours. This is the month, 2 months after he left 100 Thieves. He streamed for 377 hours. And then the next month, he streamed 519 hours, I'm sorry. Guys, I don't know what your perception of me is in my responsibility and role at 100 Thieves, but I spend a lot of time at the office. There have been ebbs and flows of my, involvement
It'd be like that.
in the corporate and business development aspect of our business, but I'm fucking there. And I can tell you everything that is happening at this company across apparel, Project X, a new venture that's launching, High Ground, content, marketing, talent.
All right.
I am very involved.
Right.
In the 2 years that the mob was a part of 100 Thieves, Frosty streamed, let's see. In April 2020, he streamed 129 hours. Then the month prior to that, I streamed 157 hours. I've got a family and a full-time fucking job. I'm not doing this to pat myself on the back.
Even
I'm
he
doing
doesn't
this to
believe
give
that
you guys a
bullshit, bro.
metric to understand what we were dealing with. And I truly hope that you guys know. I don't like to talk about these things. After we departed, shook hands with the mob and said goodbye, I never thought that there would be negative blowback. I didn't think there was anything that needed to be said because I thought we left on good terms. And like I told you at the beginning of this stream, when I put my head on my pillow at night, I know.
Why do you? I don't. Matt, if you're still watching, why did you assume we left on good terms? Like, whether or not we did is irrelevant, but like, why would you? How would you know what kind of terms we left on, bro? You barely talked to any of us when all of our shit was like falling apart when we all left. I did not have a conversation with you after I left or before I left. I talked to Jackson, that's it. But I did not talk to you. So, I don't know why you're getting these assumptions that like we left on good or bad terms.
That I have peace of mind because I have tried my best to do the right thing. And at one point, Frosty even brought up the fact that the most money that he ever made was during the Uno tournament where we got second place. They won $75,000 from an event that we created in partnership with Cash App, where we invited some of the biggest creators on the internet during the halftime of the Super Bowl to compete in a $500,000 Uno tournament. And Frosty says that the most money that they ever made with 100 Thieves was because of this Uno tournament.
It's true.
If you weren't a part of 100 Thieves, Frosty, you would have never been a part of the tournament.
If I wasn't part of 100 Thieves, Matt, I wouldn't have needed the money from that Uno tournament. Because I would have been broke as shit. Could have just kept living with my family, living with my parents, and saved up all my money. Like, don't get me wrong, that was a wonderful day. Like, that tournament was like a wonderful memory for me. But like, come on.
We had you sitting next to Valkyrie, Courage, Castro. Brother, you average 100 viewers. And I don't even mean this is to be disrespectful.
No, I
just think that there needs to be a lens of logic and being rational about your situation.
Bro, like, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this without... Bro, Yes, we were given very good opportunities that streamers of our size shouldn't have. Okay? But you also gotta remember, bro, we made some good-ass content for 100 Thieves. If you go back and watch their old videos with us, those are some of their best videos. Like, numbers-wise and everything. Like, the comments, they fucking loved us. Don't act like it wasn't a mutual relationship. Because every time there was a video that you wanted to do where the bigger creators were too humiliated, like, didn't want to be humiliated or be in actual physical pain, you always hit us up, and we always did it. We never complained. Alright? Like, we ate fucking insanely hot peppers for a fucking YouTube video. We literally got tasered. We got electrocuted for a YouTube video. You think Valkyrie's gonna do something like that? She's not. She's not. No one is. Courage isn't doing that. Brooke isn't doing that. Nobody else in that org was doing that. So let's not act like it wasn't a mutual relationship. Okay? And like, this is where my problem comes from, is that like, you guys never realized or respected the fact that it was a mutual relationship. We were helping each other out. The entire time, the attitude that you guys had towards us is that you're doing us a favor and we should be grateful. And we were grateful, but you guys never reciprocated that at all.
I hate that I have to... Frosty, I know you're a smart kid. I know that you're a very independent thinker. I don't know what I did to you that made you so jaded and so upset, and what made you feel like we didn't care, or we were predatory with our business dealings, or we took advantage of you, or we did anything that could be seen in a negative way. But you continue to say all of these things. And I just don't get it. Now, I want to be fair, because Classify, we tried to work with him. When everything happened with the mob, I talked to Classy on the side because he had put forth effort. He streamed more than everybody else. He was trying to make videos. And from his perspective, he felt like he was working his ass off. And Avalanche streamed more than Frosty.
That's
Mako,
not
I
true.
couldn't find his stats. And that's completely aside from what's happening here today. But I truly do believe, and you can form your own opinion off of all these things and believe what you'd like. But I know for a fact, like I said, when I put my head on my pillow at night, I know that we put our best foot forward, and we did everything we could to help these 4 individuals who I have a ton of respect for, that I truly did believe in, that I fought battles with internally to keep them around. I truly believe that we did everything we could to provide them a platform to take their gaming careers to the next level. And
that's just not true.
Whether Frosty believes it or not,
I don't.
He specifically, I got to stop talking about everybody. He specifically did not take full advantage of the opportunity. You know, even with the housing thing, like I said, you know, could we have moved them to Chicago or New York or Texas, where a lot of creators live? Maybe. But we had to have them in LA because they were a young group that had not been full-time creators before, and they needed to take responsibility for the situation. And the best way to amplify their group was to be around the 100 Thieves universe. And they chose to live in a $10,000 home.
Oh my god, he keeps saying that.
You know, maybe with some hindsight, they would go back and do it again. Or maybe I would have, you know, been more involved with the negotiation and told them, listen, I think this is a bad idea. I think you guys should get a 2-bedroom house, spend $4 grand a month, pocket the rest, and everybody stream in the living room. You know, I watched Sub Rosa. He's on the professional TSM Valorant team. And I go to his stream. He's got 3 people behind him streaming and gaming every single day.
This dude wanted us to sleep on bunk beds? Like grown-ass men. 4 dudes, 2 bedrooms. Like just cuddle up with each other? Is that what the solution would have been here, Matt? Like, that's the best solution you can come up with? Like, maybe, like $500 million company, and that's the best solution you can come up with. This is what I mean, bro. Like, he keeps saying he truly believed in us and all this other shit, and like, who knows, maybe he did. But if that was the case, if they genuinely believe that we could be the next big thing, why not invest a little bit more, bro? Like, why not? Like, this whole relationship with us and 100 Thieves, it started off on the wrong foot, okay? Nadeshot, like, said this to us during a drunken rant one night. He literally told us that nobody in this company wants you on here. He is the only one that actually wanted us on there. So, of course, when we actually do join, we're gonna get the absolute bare minimum. And that's what we got.
Maybe it should have been a smaller, cheaper home. But the entire thought process is we thought that we were adding gasoline to the small fire that they had created with the following they had on social media by, you know, giving them an opportunity to put a little bit of money in their pockets, sell a couple sponsorships, show them what life can be like if you work hard and make the of Rosa. He's on the professional TSM Valorant team, and I go to his stream, he's got 3 people behind him streaming and gaming every single day.
Yeah, nice.
An opportunity for yourself. But the fact of the matter is, Froste specifically did not work. In 2 years, he averaged 40 hours on stream. He has not uploaded a video to his individual channel.
That's not
true.
true. I just made them all private.
And the mob has only uploaded 33 videos in 2 years. Now, I hope all this makes sense, and I feel like I'm missing things that I wanted to address as well. So I'm going to look at Twitter and some of the tweets that were made and try to figure all this out. I already talked to you guys about the 95%. Never happened.
Dude, okay, can I just say, like just to reiterate this again, because he keeps bringing it up, so I want to bring it up too. The original deal we had was 95%. But when we were, like, about to sign with 100 Thieves, it was when all that, like, Tfue, Cloaksy, FaZe drama happened where they were taking, like, 80%. So we went to them and we're like, hey, guys, like, we see what's happening with, like, FaZe and stuff, and, like, this just seems, you know, even worse. And they use their justification like, oh, well, you guys are small, we're taking a risk on you, so, like, you know, we have to have something, you know, in our favor. And then we managed to talk it down to 85%. Okay, I just want to reiterate that. Originally, it was 95%.
Enough money. Here's the other part, too.
Is it pause?
You don't need money to make YouTube content. You know, maybe it's not apples to apples, but, you know, a lot of people come to my chat, they say, man, I can't play golf. The entire sport is gatekeeping. It's really expensive. There's no way to do it. I don't even know why I'm using a golf analogy, but the point is, my dad was a blue-collar carpenter. My mom was a secretary at a hospital. You know, we were middle class at best.
Courage made a tweet. Let me see. Bro, personally, I have zero issue with Courage. Like, at all. Courage tried to be an actual mentor to us and give us advice and help us out, you know, like the most he could. So I have no issue with Jack. Like, the one thing that I regret doing is calling him out publicly as viciously as I did about that whole, like, Bill Cosby thing, instead of, like, making it private. But, like, me and him, we talked about that. I told him some, like, personal stuff, and we're cool. Like, these are our texts together. This is when Matt and Jack invited me to Vegas, and then they asked me for, like, what was the best, like, place to play poker, and then they went without me. So, whatever, like, I didn't really care. Yeah, like, Jack is, like, a genuine dude. I fucking love Jack. And, like, I hate that, like, this is straining whatever relationship, like, him and I had. But, like I knew that would happen, but, you know, like, it is what it is. So, yeah, I have no beef with Jack. I have nothing but good things to say about him.
My dad worked his ass off. So did my mom. If you have $100 in your pocket, you go buy a hand-me-down set of clothes.
And like that's the thing that pisses me off, dude. It's like Jack was more of a mentor towards us than Nadeshot ever was. And it's like, that's why we took this deal in the first place. That's why we, like, moved out to LA and did all that thing, because we thought we thought it was gonna be like how Hex was to Nadeshot, right? Like, we thought, like, he wanted to recreate that. But then when we got there, that just wasn't the case at all. And I know, like, it sounds like stupid to, like, bitch about that, but, like, that's just how it was, you know? Like, we looked up to this guy. We had been following his career since literally day one, and we fucking love this guy, and getting to work with him was a dream come true. But then the reality was not anything like how we imagined or what we were promised. And that's genuinely, like, why I'm pissed off. Like, that's why I'm, like, salty about the whole situation. That's how I feel about it. And I get it. He was, like, a very busy and stressed out person, especially when we joined. Like, they were making big moves. So I knew, like, I understood why he couldn't give us, like, any sort of mentorship, any sort of attention or anything. But it's like, if you knew that too, dude, why even offer it? Like, why even get us there? I don't know.
You go walk on the municipal course like I did. You pay $9. You're playing 9 holes. You get to Twilight, they cut it down to $5, and you're playing golf. Golf can be a very expensive sport, but the barrier of entry is much, much lower than what people actually believe and what is actually true.
I should have clarified that about Jack. That was kind of stupid of me not to say, but yeah. Wait, what did he say? Sorry, I was thinking about, like,
can be a very expensive sport. $5, and you're playing golf. Golf can be a very expensive sport, but the barrier of entry is much, much lower than what people actually believe and what is actually true. Content creation is the same way. And that's why I wanted to bring up Optic earlier, because like I said, we weren't making money. A lot of you guys know this about me, and again, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I think it's important. I was going to community college, and I was working full-time, minimum wage. I quit all that, which was probably really irresponsible at the time, but then we moved into Optic House. Me, Big Timer, Merc, Scump, and Hector. We weren't making any money unless we made it for ourselves. We were happy to be a part of Optic, and it gave us an opportunity to be bigger than we were. People that joined FaZe back in the day, they had FaZe in their gamer tag. They made it, and now we're gonna go pump videos out, and we're gonna go make some real money. So it just really sucks when I know Frosty knows that I've been on both sides of the fence. I've been in his situation before.
Yeah, bro, that's why I'm so pissed off about it. Because you knew our situation. You knew about our situation. And you barely did anything to try to help.
And this is why it hurts so much when people from the community place blame on 100 Thieves without realizing what is actually happening behind the scenes. And you make assumptions, and you feel as if I would ever try to take advantage of a group like the mob. I walked in their shoes. Guys, whether you want to hear it or not, a lot of people have already formed an opinion about 100 Thieves, and I know that, and I've made my peace with that. But contrary to some people's belief, I'm not sitting here every fucking day trying to scheme and crawl my way into making more money and trying to fuck people over. I could retire today. I could go move back to where I grew up and live a great life. I could stay in this house. I own it outright. I don't need to claw over individuals and take advantage of young kids to make more money. And if I was gonna take advantage over somebody, anybody, it damn sure wouldn't be the fucking mob. And I don't mean that it's to sound like an asshole, and I'm not, my blood pressure's rising, and I'm sounding like a dick. But there is nothing for me to gain to take advantage of somebody that's averaging 100 viewers on Twitch. What am I getting out of that?
That's just not true, bro. That's just not true. Because of that, like, we have no leverage over you guys. We have no leverage to ask for anything with 100 Thieves. Like, we saw the way we were treated versus the way, like, say, Yasuo or Brook was treated. Okay? When Yasuo thought that a video that they were making was gonna be cringe or stupid, he didn't want to say it, he'd just say that. I was saying, this video's fucking stupid, I'm not doing it. And that was it. That was it. When we thought that, it didn't fucking matter, bro. Like, we were gonna do it. Because all we were good to them for was to be in videos where we got made to be the butt of the joke or put in actual physical pain. That's all we were good to them for.
Why would I go?
And like, that's why I was so pissed about the Bill Cosby shit, because like the joke itself isn't like that bad. Like, who gives a fuck? But like, when it's coming from an organization that did this shit and then they're continuing to do it even after you've already been gone for a year, like, that shit boiled my blood, bro. It pissed me off. It wasn't about the joke, it was about the principle of it. Like, I don't want to be the butt of the joke a year later on your YouTube videos. And I know it wasn't anything personal, but I took it personally.
My own reputation by taking advantage of kids.
Like, dude, I don't think Nadeshot is some, like, evil mastermind sitting there rubbing his hands and shit and just thinking of ways to screw us over, but I just don't think he was fully aware of what's going on in his company. Especially when it came to us. So, like, if you don't want to blame him for that, that's fine. If you want to blame him for that, okay. Like, I don't think he's a bad dude. I really don't. I think he genuinely wanted to see us succeed, but he had so much other shit going on that he couldn't give us the time that we needed.
The internet is just such a polarizing and divisive place where everybody picks a side. You're either with us or against us. You make an assumption, and it eats me alive. But I have a great group of friends. I have, you know, a woman that loves me. I've got a family that cares about me, and I know that I can.
What is that? The fuck? Chief Who's, thank you for the 50 bucks, bro. What did that message say? It was a long ass message. Give me a sec. This entire issue is this org has grown to be bigger than a bunch of kids to manage. The entire issue is that this org has grown to be bigger than a bunch of kids to manage it, such as Matt, Valk, and Courage. If they want to survive, they need a real CEO to manage the work for them, period. Plus, never wait for someone who robbed. Okay. Bro, like, that's not even the issue, right? Because, like, Nadeshot, like, I mean this, like, in no disrespect, but, like, Nadeshot is very self-aware about his business capabilities. So like he's not sitting there like trying to make business decisions and like be the like I don't know what the word is. Like he's surrounded himself by people that know the business better than him. So yeah.
That I've done and the things that I've said and so is it annoying to see all the comments, especially with something like this popping up? Yeah, but you can't beat the internet and you can't beat the hive mind. I've been in gaming for 15 years and it's just wild that, you know, for the last 5 years I haven't been a part of any drama. I haven't, you know, maybe there's a tweet here or there to fucking
Is this the part where he starts talking about like random shit, or is there still more? I don't remember. Cause bro, for me personally, like the only reason I'm even live is because he was looking at my tweets and saying that I was lying, when I did not lie about a single thing. Okay, like everything I said was true. Like people can take that how they want, right? People can pick sides, but like everything I said was true. So I don't know.
Like 100 Thieves has had a lot of success, and we have done things faster and in some ways better than most. I don't sit here and pat myself on the back on social media. I don't fucking pound my chest and gloat. So so all this stuff with the mob is just taking me to a deeper place where it's just like, if you get involved with drama more times than not on the internet, you come out with more viewers and more attention. I haven't gone that route. I don't do that. Not once. In the last...
Bad assassin. Bro, like, I can't believe people think I like... Hold on, I'll get that in a second. I can't believe people genuinely think, like, after this long that I still give a shit about clout. I have not streamed in, like, 4 or 5 months, bro. And before that, like, probably a year. After I end the stream, like, I'm not streaming again, bro. Like, I'm good on that. I'm done with this whole, like, social media content creator bullshit. Like, I told you guys have all known, if you're actually a viewer of mine, you know that I've said that I'm only gonna do this shit as long as I enjoy it. I stopped enjoying it a long ass time ago, so I'm like done with it. Which is why, like, I don't really give a shit about burning bridges, so I'm just gonna tell, like, my truth, my side.
Last 5 years, not once have I, like, pursued drama in hopes of getting a rise out of somebody and more people watching me and trying to gain the spotlight. I don't do it. So I hope that can reaffirm the things that I'm saying, and you can, you know, believe the words coming out of my mouth, that I did not want to do this. I did not want to talk about these things so openly. I did not want to make people feel poorly about themselves, because I don't need it in my life. I wouldn't want somebody to do it to me, but I wanted to make sure everybody understood that we negotiated this deal and worked with them for 2 years, and we did our best to make sure that they had all the things that they needed to not only succeed, I should say not only to survive, but to succeed, because the way that Frosty laid this out makes it think that he's living in a third world country in poverty.
I mean,
if you were skipping meals, why didn't you come to us and say, hey, I think I need to move back home, I can't afford this, I can't do it?
Because I didn't want to move back home, bro. Like, I wanted to make it work. Like, what kind
But again, these guys are young. And that's another reason why I didn't want to talk about it. These guys are young. They don't have the experience that I've been able to have because I'm older. I'm 30 years old. I've been through good. I've been through bad on the internet.
To the guy that keeps donating bits, talking shit, like, keep going, boss. My ass is not reading those paragraphs. But thank you for the money, though.
It is what it is.
Is it done?
How many creators do we have on our roster?
Guess not.
We got like 15. I gotta add up the numbers.
I was waiting for this to be done so I can go smoke, bro. Jesus Christ.
And these people
seems
are
like you
independently
lazy.
wealthy. A lot of them, they make really good money. And maybe this isn't a great example because since they make better money without 100 Thieves, they don't need us as much. But have you ever seen a creator? And I know everybody's thinking Nick Mercs. It's an entirely different situation. And I know one day somebody wants to hear me talk about that. But I respect what Nick Mercs has accomplished. And I know he feels as if I did him wrong. And I don't want to address that. I don't want to open it up. And I know that's the example a lot of you guys are probably thinking when you sit at home. But I'm telling you, we have like 15 creators on our roster who get paid significantly more, exponentially more than the mob because of its business, the audience that they bring to the table. They all have representation and, you know, everybody watching their back. But have you seen anybody else that we've taken advantage of?
Wait, did you see the tweet that Kitty House Knife posted about 200k deal? She said what Nadeshot told the truth about not being attentive and she ran the campaign. Is she lying? Can you link me that? Because I don't know who this person is. I've never heard of this company. Agency who hired the mob. I've never heard of this person, bro. Bro, the agency... I want to see where she worked. I want to see where she worked. Bro, the agency that got us that deal, the one that, like, my friend is, like, a CEO of, is Power Spike. I've never heard of whatever the fuck Dice Roll is. I've never heard of this person, and I have... from the actual CEO of the agency that Fireball fucking loved us, that we killed it for them. So I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. Like, who is this person? Hold on, let me message my friend about this. I'll wait for his response, but I have no idea who the fuck this is, bro. I really don't. I shouldn't have mentioned, like, which agency. That was kind of fucked up. That's my bad, but, like, still. I don't know. Okay, whatever. From what I know about that Fireball deal is that they fucking loved the streams that we did for them. You know, all of our tweets did well for sponsored streams, for sponsored tweets, which never really do well. And we were on time with pretty much everything, so I don't know what the fuck there was to complain about.
You guys wanted us to drop Frosty when he was a part of 100 Thieves.
Yeah, Fireball literally wanted to re-sign with us, and they were gonna give us twice the money. After our first campaign was done, Fireball literally wanted to re-sign us for almost twice the money that they were originally paying. So, like, if we were that bad and they didn't like us and that we fumbled it, like, why would they re-sign us? The only reason we didn't take a deal is because that was when Mako, like, left, so obviously the mob broke up and shit. But yeah, I don't know, bro. Alright, I've been told that I'm done talking. I can't talk about this anymore.
That he was crazy. But all of a sudden this morning I got everybody saying that 100 Thieves is scamming kids out of money and being predatory, but no, we're not looking back at the history books. We would have brought them more partnerships, but the partnerships that we brought.
You dropped the deal because someone left? Brother, the deal was for the mob. The mob broke up. Like, that's kind of how it works.
Brought them. They didn't deliver on it. We had to have people go over to the house to make sure they got it done. To go make sure that they tweeted it. And then we almost ruined history books. We would. No, we're not looking back at the history books. We would have brought them more partnerships, but the partnerships that we brought them, they didn't deliver on it. We had to have people go over to the house to make sure they got it done. To go make sure that they tweeted it. And then we almost ruined relationships with our partners because the mob wasn't delivering what they said they were going to deliver on.
Which partners?
We still did this deal for 2 years. We didn't owe them a second year, and then we raised it to $3,000 a month. So, I'm talking in circles now.
Okay, I genuinely... Okay, Delgado deal, we kind of fucked that up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Mostly because, like, how strict they were and, like, everything they wanted us to do, it was annoying as fuck, I'm gonna be honest, and they weren't paying us that much money to really give a shit about it. So, yeah, we half-assed the shit out of that. I'll give them that. We fumbled that. But the fireball thing? Bro, I built a poker table with my bare hands, from scratch. I built a poker table. Like, we killed that. What are they talking about? That's actually crazy.
At this point, I think I'm just enjoying the fact that I get to say it out loud to other people. And that's not what I'm here to do.
Yeah, Fury, like, those are the best streams. Classy even came over my apartment when he was in New York just to stream and make the quota for Fireball he was committed. Bro, we took that deal so seriously because we did not want to fumble that deal. Like, that was, like, the most amount of money any of us would have ever seen. We were not fumbling that deal. Like, we did everything we needed to do for that deal and then some. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about here or what that other girl is talking about, but it's cap. Twitter's not agreeing. I don't give a shit, bro. I do not give a shit about Twitter. Like, I am telling you guys, everything in these tweets happened. I'm just putting it out there. You guys can take it however you want. You can call me lazy, you can call me stupid, entitled, whatever. But this is how it was. Take it as you want.
All I would ask, whether you care or not, is that moving forward with 100 Thieves, please stop making assumptions.
Like, the only reason I'm streaming right now is because he went on stream and called me a liar. So, I'm just defending myself.
I don't know what we have done to make people assume that we're out for blood or we're... I don't know. I don't need to say all this. I'm just too close to the chest, this one, man. I'm just too close to the chest with 100 Thieves.
Like, another thing, like... I know, like, I'm very self-aware of what's happening. I know Nadeshot sounds a lot, like, cleaner and smarter and better in his stream than I do in mine. I'm kind of all over the place. But that's because I didn't have 12 hours with a full fucking PR team to prep for this. Alright, people wanted me to go live. I went live within the hour. Okay, I didn't have anything prepared. I didn't have a statement. Like, when I originally tweeted this shit, I did not think it was gonna get any traction at all. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I did not expect it to start all this controversy. Because a lot of this stuff, everything here, like, everything here, and all this shit, these are stuff that I've been saying for years now. I've been very public about this stuff, even when I was in 100 Thieves. Like, I always told my chat, like, yeah, we make around $25K or $2,500 and our rent's around, like, $2,500. So they basically pay the rent. And then they started taking taxes and shit out, and then we had to pull money out. But that's beside the point. Like, I don't know why all this, like, shit started. Like, this is stuff I've been saying for years now.
I left Optic, regretted that for a long time. Not because I wasn't making enough money, but because I... you know, spent so much time building something up with, you know, some of my closest friends, you know, some of my best friends. And I let money cloud my judgment. You know, 20-something years old, not making nearly as much money as I thought I could if I went and worked on my own. I felt like Optic was getting in the way of me actually securing my future in gaming. And I left, and I moved to LA. And I regretted that for a very, very long time. Because once you get to a point...
Ben, bro, I have taken accountability for my mistake every single day, like, for the last year, okay? I've already taken a lot of accountability for what happened, alright? Like, I blame myself for the mob falling apart. I wasn't the leader that I should have been. Like, I should have done more to keep the mob intact, to keep the mob going. Okay, and I didn't. I was young, dumb, and stupid, and I didn't. Like, I know I could also have streamed a shit ton more, but the way I thought about my streams is that I'd rather produce quality over quantity. Okay? All my streams, every time I went live, it was a fucking banger. And if you watch the streams, you know I'm not lying. Because I wasn't just sitting there for 8 hours playing some bullshit-ass game, alright, barely talking to chat or anything. I was actually being entertaining. And any viewers that were back there can attest to that. And, like, that's on top of the internet issues, plus us streaming together a lot. So, yeah, like, I have taken responsibility for the things I've done wrong. But now, like, someone else has to, it's not just, like, all on me, you know?
Where you're older and you can have hindsight and you can see where your decisions have led you. For a long time before 100 Thieves, I was ashamed of it.
Kitty was VP of operations at PowerSwag. Then Avia confirmed the story. You're coping. Okay, dude, like, if they say that we didn't kill the Fireball deal, I don't know, like, what they're talking about. Okay, we did all of our streams. We did all the tweets, and, like, they literally wanted to re-sign us. Fireball wanted to re-up the deal with us. So if we fumbled it that bad as they're claiming, why would they do that? Huh? Like, that doesn't make any sense. If we did such a bad job of meeting our requirements for the deal, then why are they, like, giving us more money to re-up? Bear, when I say banging, I mean content-wise, bro, not numbers-wise.
Of it, and I was disappointed in myself, and 100 Thieves saved me from what I thought was like the biggest mistake of my life. You know, I love Hector like a brother, and Scump, and a lot of those guys, Embos. I have a really close relationship still with them to this day, but I always felt like I fucked up by leaving. And what I've gotten to do in the last 5 years with 100 Thieves has been the most rewarding 5 years of my life. We've had countless employees come in and out. We've had teams win, we've had teams lose, we've had creators that we've spent a ton of time with. You know, we've had some really incredible memories. and something that I will never forget for the rest of my life. And we're going to keep going, and we're going to keep moving forward. And we got LCS playing in the winners finals.
Why would the org that you worked for care about anything you say if your numbers aren't any good, though? Because they signed us knowing that, bro. They signed us knowing that that was a fact, that we did not have big numbers like that. Like, if you're gonna sign someone just to treat them like absolute shit, knowing that they don't have the numbers, like, why even sign them in the first place? That's what I don't understand. Like, we could have easily taken the G Fuel deal, moved to New York in a house that was like $3K a month, and been a whole lot happier. Like, it's just crazy to me. Like, it's actually crazy to me. Like, you guys are dick riding a $500 million company because they wanted to pinch pennies. And, like, it's mind-blowing.
Cloud9, we got the Valorant team in Istanbul playing at the LCQ. We just won a world championship. All the things that I've always wanted to do are coming true, like right in front of me. But what kills me is that we've got 100 employees, and you know, back at the compound, who've got to read online that the team, the organization that they're working for, is taking advantage of young creators. And you know, that's what they have to think about, and they wonder, and they probably think, like, is this true? And so I would just ask that you stop making assumptions about how we're running this business, because like I said before, I have no reason in my mind, and no reason or incentive to ever sit here, plot, twist, and have any ill intention of taking advantage of somebody else. We don't need to do it. We got a great business. We've got the best employees in gaming. We've got the best creators across the entire landscape, and that's no disrespect to the other teams. You know, this other thing.
Does he still have more to say, or is
Are we
this where he
competitive
starts
with other
like
teams every single
rambling?
day? Yes. Do we want to win at everything we do, business included, good right now? See, Sentinels, you're better. Tool creators, every single piece of playing, let it, anything. Like, you're always in the wrong. I promised business around. People thought it was an insult to call us a hoodie org because we had another revenue stream. Doing something to act with the bad thing that happens on, like, the mob. I'm with guys, and they were with me since day one. And I have any guilt on my conscience, and I've said all the things that I need to say, and we've made the right decisions for us, and we've made fair and balanced agreements with them. And our time with the mob is over, and I cherished it, and I really enjoyed it, and I wish them all the best, because I still have a ton of respect for those guys, and they were with me since day one. And
well, I'm glad one of us enjoyed it. I don't know, dude. Like, I'm not... Like, I don't want to drag this out. Like, is there anything else you want me to talk about? Literally, the only reason I streamed is because the man is calling me a liar, and I wanted to prove that I am not. That's all. Like, you can take those tweets however you want. Like, if you think we're being lazy and it's our fault, that's fine. Sure, but, like, it's still how it was. Like, that's literally the way it was. Oh, dude, someone took the clip where I said I could make an extra 2K a month if I streamed. Do they understand, like, what 2K a month is in LA, bro? It's absolutely nothing. Like, 75% of that would instantly go to fucking bills and shit. Like, you cannot survive with that money in LA. Like, it's actually ridiculous. Hayden, how did it seem like we had more than enough cash, bro? At what point were we, like, going out and partying and dropping bands and shit? Like, what are you talking about? Big Bo Brown, like... Yes, I wanted to get better at making YouTube videos. I wanted to become a better YouTuber and everything, bro. But when you're not making jack shit off those YouTube videos, like, there's hardly any motivation to do those videos. Because I'm not a YouTuber. I was a Twitch streamer. It's like, look at this dumb shit, man. Look at this dumb shit. It says that he lives off 2K a month. It can't live off 2K a month. That bills would take 75. Whatever. But he had 3 other roommates. Blah, 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 blah. Like, bro, you understand that's just me making that money, right? That's not like Mako and Classy and Ava as well, like, weren't making that kind of money. Like, this isn't just a me issue, bro. This was an issue we all had. I'm just the only one speaking out about it. Like, the only reason I'm speaking out about it is because, like, I have nothing left to lose, bro. Like, I'm done with the whole, like, social media streaming thing. So it's like, fuck it. It's like, I'm not allowed to be pissed that we were treated like a fucking joke for 2 years straight, bro. Like, bro, we asked for our own show on their YouTube channel for 2 years. Like, we had some really good content ideas that would make, like, really good shows on their YouTube channel. And then, like, with 4 or 5 months left in our contract, they finally, like, pitched us an idea. And the idea was basically to try to make us the jackass of 100 Thieves. Right? So, for the first video, they want us to get a fucking shopping cart, go to a skate park, and then ride the shopping cart down the ramp. And you're telling me that these people gave a shit about us as people. Like, you're telling me these people gave a shit about our safety or anything. That's why Mako left, bro. Like, that's why. Like, that was, like, the final, like, straw. Like, it's such a fucking, like, wild thing to suggest in the first place, bro. It's actually insane. Yeah, I know that, Lisa. Alright, bro. I'm really not trying to drag this out too long. It's like, I really hate how much this is, like, blown up and blown out of proportion. I genuinely didn't think, like, those tweets would cause some distraction, as they did, I guess. But, you know, that's the internet. Like, no matter how much you think you fell off, like, you spark a bit of drama and everyone just jumps on it. These inbreds won't listen to different opinions. Be glad you're done with that shit. Yeah. Yeah. I've been done with this internet shit for a long time, man. And honestly, like, I've just been looking for, like, an official out, I guess. So I'm just gonna, like, take this as that. Who knows? Maybe in a couple years when I've changed as a person, or I'll give it another shot. Maybe if my way of thinking towards it changes. Who fucking knows? It's all good, Deluxe. Or Lex. I really feel bad about, like, mostly for Courage. Like, say what you want about Courage, but, like, he's a good dude. He genuinely is. And, like, I know that, like, this is gonna basically burn any bridge I have towards him. But, like, it is what it is. Brother, Conrad, it wasn't actually 60K a year, bro. It wasn't that much. Okay? Works 40 hours a month. Bro, oh, I don't know how many times I can say this shit, man. Like, Nadeshot knows damn well that it wasn't just 40 hours a month, alright? Like, he knows damn well we were streaming on each other's channels at the time. We were streaming on the mob channel. Like that, whatever, bro. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to explain myself to you guys. I literally can't say anything that'll change your opinion, so fuck it. You literally provided no proof? Bro, because for me to provide proof, like, what is there to provide proof of? Like, why would I be lying? Like, I would have to show text messages. Like, this is what I mean, bro. This is why I wanted to wait until later tonight to stream, or, like, tomorrow morning, because I wanted to, like, get everything done. Like, this man Matt had 12 hours of prep time with a whole fucking company and PR team behind him. I just went live because people wanted me to go live and talk about it. Like, I'm one person. It would literally take me weeks to come up with everything that I need to do this right. You wanted drama? I really didn't. Like, I did not think all this shit would, like, blow up like this. Yeah, I think it's time I call it, bro. I've already said most things I wanted to say. Like, if you're on my side on this, great. I appreciate that. If you're not, if you think I'm in the wrong, that's completely fine. I completely respect that too. But yeah, I don't know. It was okay while it lasted, I guess. Thank you guys. Alright. Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, whether you came to hate or whether you came to show support. I appreciate it regardless. Thank you guys, and I'll see you. Actually, I don't know if I'll see you, but I'll see you when I see you, I guess. I don't know. Good night, guys.